Yo, what is up guys? Seiishizo here, and I've been asked to do like more RTA analysis like I did on my own RTA. So instead of me just going through like my own replays and showing too much of my own things, which is not really that beneficial for me, I want to take it like a more brighter approach of like analyzing like how to draft that kind of stuff. But therefore I thought about something that I've seen like with League of Legends like way back, that people could submit their clips and then they would be showcased. And in League of Legends it was mostly like cool plays and that kind of shit. So for this one I want to break it down to more like categories of like analyzing fun OP or something else. Maybe like somewhere down the line maybe this whole series is not gonna work out. Maybe this whole series of Seii Watches RTA is gonna be shit, or maybe it's gonna be the shit. So we'll see. It's just a fun series. I think I just want to make like a weekly thing and want to get these videos like just short, like 10 to 15 minutes, just like a few fun RTA matches, a few analyses, maybe analysis, whatever. Just me just talking about RTA, how to draft against this, how to draft against that. Maybe I'll take like a certain topic of like how to draft against this kind of cleave, how to draft against this kind of cleave, how to draft against Molly, that kind of like just like some weekly topics. And then just from all the videos that I get in, just some like analyzing of the drafts. It doesn't have to be super high level, of course. Like from the higher levels you could probably explain better why things are working and why not. But yeah, this is just the form. It's gonna be in the description down below, which is really simple. You put in your IGN. You could put in anonymous if you don't want to be mentioned. Otherwise you will be mentioned like Seiishizo from Europe server, that kind of stuff. In case needed, add in your email. For this I would prefer a WeTransfer link or a YouTube link. WeTransfer is really simple. You can just like transfer videos. Please do not send me like 1 GB plus videos, preferably like 500 MB or less, because my internet is not that great and don't want to be downloading that shit all day. So just for that, or you could just like upload it on YouTube, put the thing on like private or hidden, then I can still see it and that kind of stuff. And then add in your category. So I think most of it will be for like analyzes, fun, OP, other, like, and like if you have any suggestions for this series, fill that in there as well. So that's what it is, what I asked from you guys. So we'll see if this gets like a lot of submissions or not that much. I won't be covering every video, but I will be covering like anything that I think is cool to show. So then for today's video, like I'm not just gonna make just that, I'm gonna make a little bit longer. I'm just gonna go over some old matches of mine, and I'm just gonna showcase you how I think about my draft and how I think like it's good, bad, or just some stupid drafts. So let's look at this one. This is where you think everything goes right until it goes wrong, kind of. So what do we have here? We have so first pick Sierra, really common first pick, one of the higher win rates right now. Also for like future videos, I think I'll go into like more win rates against that kind of stuff, because I have a whole bunch of data on that. But in this case, I'm just gonna go over a draft of which I think is pretty fun. So we have Sierra. That's also why I don't want to just showcase my videos, because there's gonna be Gianna and like just my draft based on my stuff all the time. That's why I would like to see like other inputs as well. So we have a Sierra, Gianna, Okeanos. Okeanos is currently a really strong unit. Before I mostly drafted Hathor here, but Hathor is actually not as strong as it used to be. Like people that are still complaining about Hathor, they're outdated. They're freaking boomers. I don't know. Then we have like a whole bunch of like these two units. Verd is really good into these two units. Also Verd is really good into Savannah. So Verd is only not a good counter against that, but Juno is actually a good counter against that. So reason of Juno here, I could go like for something more safe here, like just another immunity or anything. Then if he picks a double stripper, well, he actually already has a double stripper, but I don't really count him as a stripper that much, because he's not the main stripper. His S2 is stripped, which is not that consistent in general. So then he could have picked like another stripper and I would have been messed up, or he could have picked another immunity if I didn't have another stripper and ban out my Gianna, and then I would have been messed up. So these two are actually a really good pick, and then his Barbara is a really good pick into these three actually. So let's see what happens with this match. Also, before let's make that the standard thing. If you're watching this, I give you a second to pause and you're gonna predict the bans. So every time you see all of the units picked out, I'm gonna give a pause right now, and then you're gonna predict the bands and see if your bands are correct. By just doing that, you right away have like a better understanding of what's actually going on in this match. So this match I cannot, because it's actually in game right now, which is not that convenient, because I can't really like end the match or like just go back and forth, see what happens. So everything is on will. He didn't ban Gianna. That's incredibly stupid, first of all. So I banned his Chiu, he banned my speed lead, so he kind of expected to outspeed. But not banning my Gianna was pretty stupid here. So I landed on everyone, but he procs out, which is pretty bad. Then we go for Serious Matter. I think that's highly risky. Well, it was to reduce cooldown on the Gianna, I guess. The odds of Vert proccing here on a counter is really big, which didn't happen. So I do Rain of Stones. I get another additional turn, which is really useless because, well, you don't want an additional turn at this point. Let's reset the friend. I reset the friend out of all units, mainly because if anything of these units proc out, if Barbara procs out, she's gonna hit on one unit. If Savannah procs out, she's gonna hit on everyone, but she probably gets a counter, and these 3 units are pretty well against that. If friend procs out and she puts S3, I'm having a problem because probably Juno is that far pushed back with this thing's skill is like this thing's S3 is insanely OP. So therefore, like Juno's skill is probably reset. If he puts some immunity right now, I'm probably losing. So those two don't proc out. Fran actually does proc out, which is good. Well, this currently he's on 3 procs already. I just got one. Like that's the thing. I got 1 useless proc. He got 3 good ones so far. So then he does second skill, which again is pretty risky because you can see already like glancing. If this one could have been glanced as well, but didn't. And I could have countered, but I don't get any counters. So that's too bad on my side. Double no counter. He gets another additional turn, so he's on 4 additional turns already. I get another no counter though. He destroys the attack bar of Juno. So that's where you lose a match which was pretty favorable in my position, at least in my opinion. So you can't always get what you expect, but I think this, in hindsight, is a pretty safe draft against what he just used. Because it's 45% for Vert to counter, which is actually pretty high number. He went 3 times without, like 3 times AoE without counter. So he also had like quite some procs. So that's where that is for that match. Still, I think I did draft better than he did. So let's check out for this video one more match, but then a match of someone else. I'm gonna look in best right now, and we're gonna analyze that draft. I found one that's pretty interesting, and that's this one at the bottom. It's a Tiana first pick. Tiana first pick always gives away so much of your draft, and that's why, like in general with drafting, you want to pick a unit at first that doesn't give away too much of your draft. If you're drafting Bastet first, you know what's coming. If you drafted Tiana first, you know what's coming. So with all of those, and actually player 2, like Sam, the Japanese guy, replied really well on it. So let's see what actually happens. I haven't seen this match yet. And I think for all of the future matches, I'm not gonna check what they do. I cannot pause the video right now, so I can't actually see what the bans are. But it's probably gonna be Tiana ban, and it's gonna be on this side, I would say Okeanos ban. Yes, correct on both. I haven't seen the match though. The main reason for that is why those two are the bans. There's only 1 stripper on the side of the Tiana, which is pretty much necessary to strip the whole team. If that one is not there, team is already dead. On the other side, it's the Triton and the Chiwu, both strippers. So if there's 2 strippers, you cannot really ban out one of the strippers because the other one will take over the job pretty much. Remember, Changpeng is not really a stripper, so leaving in Chiwu plus Changpeng is gonna get you fucked because Chiwu S3 into Changpeng S3 is like 0 attack bar, cooldowns, reset, everything. Okeanos is the main issue for Vert. Like these units, they can do really well, but into a Vert on the counter, it's not that good. Okeanos actually counters Vert pretty well. Dark Monkey also counters Vert pretty well, but he's at a lower success rate. So let's see what happens. He uses S3. There's no counter. Okay, there was no counter, and simply because of no count, and he stunned, well, pretty much 60%, and I think we're done. That was not a smart... Why would you go for the... Wait. Oh, Girl Sprayer? Oh, okay, lucky proc, but I would have killed the Asuma here. I would have 100% went for the Asuma to kill the Asuma there. And that's where he instantly wins. He wins on the proc. But I think it's a misplay. I would have killed the Asuma because these 3 other units, no matter like how much they proc, they would have not killed Sierra that fast. They would have not killed anything that fast. Asuma would have annihilated your whole team like right away. So if he would have actually killed Asuma here, these 3 units would have probably not won against these 3 units. So yeah, I think that's just a small misplay. Also, I think what is technically a misplay is having Triton move before Chiwu. If you're using Triton and Chiwu, if you're using Chiwu 3rd skill, or if you're using Triton 3rd skill, Chiwu is gonna be useless, unless you actually sleep something skill 1. But if you use Chiwu S3 into Triton S2, which means your Triton has to be a lot slower because he has way higher base speed. But Triton S2 is a semi-CC. It's a silence across the board for 2 turns. So therefore your Chiwu into Triton is already a semi-CC. If that CC would have landed on her, she could have procced out. But NFL would have still done nothing. Now, okay, she has to proc double time, which is possible with her S1. But that's that. So those are the 2 matches for today. Let me know in the comments how you like these kind of videos. I'm gonna do a bunch more. I think I'm gonna do it on a weekly basis. Maybe it's gonna be more fun units, applying some fun like interaction with that as well. And it's just gonna be short videos, just improving your gameplay in RTA. Maybe I'll make some like additional RTA videos based on this style as well, or just going more in depth in like a certain draft or anything. But I just want to keep like short videos, fun, entertaining, not like complaining about like procs or anything like that. No, I just want to keep it like informative and that kind of stuff. So I hope you liked. If you did, leave it in the comments, give it a like as well, just so I know that like you guys, like if something is not being watched, like I'm making this kind of content for you guys. If this is not being watched, then I probably am doing this because I lose motivation because of that. So let me know. And thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.